If you want to earn more as an ESL teacher, teaching test prep English will help you access more jobs abroad and charge more when teaching online. I'm Jamie from ESL Teacher 365, and I've taught test prep English in Spain, Australia, and online. In this video, I'll share what test prep English is, the pros and cons, how you can get certified to teach it, and what to expect. This video also includes a mini review of the International TEFL Academy Test Prep Skills Specialty course, so stay tuned. Test Prep English prepares students for official English exams like IELTS, TOEFL, TOEIC, Cambridge, Trinity, PTE, and more. Your students might need to take one of these exams as part of their school requirements in order to access a visa to study or work abroad, to be eligible for better positions at work that require English skills, or just so they can have a solid level of English. Most test prep teachers specialize in one or two exams, and their goal is to help students reach the level they need in order to pass the exam with confidence. I first got started teaching test prep English as a language assistant in Spain with my primary and high school students. I helped them with the Cambridge and Trinity exams. I then went on to teach Cambridge exam prep courses in Australia for adults, and later started my own freelance online teaching business. Depending on where you are teaching, you might be teaching kids, adults, or both. When teaching test prep English, you are not only teaching skills like reading, writing, listening, and speaking, plus grammar and vocabulary, you are also teaching test strategies, and this is going to help your students maximize their scores. If you're new to teaching online or abroad and would like some extra help getting started, make sure to fill out my survey in the video description, and I will email you back with some helpful links and tips. I personally enjoy teaching test prep for several reasons, and here are some of the pros. First of all, students are highly motivated since they need a specific score on the exam in order to pass. If they are planning on moving to another country or studying abroad, then you are helping them make a huge change in their lives, and this is extremely rewarding. Also, there's a lot less lesson planning when it comes to teaching test prep, and that's because these courses are generally shorter than general English classes, and you can reuse materials with the new groups of students. Part of your classes may also be reserved for test practice. When I taught general English, I was constantly being moved between different levels, which meant a lot of lesson planning. However, when I taught test prep English, I was just moved between two different levels, and I basically had everything planned. Next, if you're teaching online as a freelancer, students are willing to pay more for test prep classes because this is a specialized skill and many teachers guarantee results. If you're teaching online through a marketplace like Preply, then including test prep experience on your profile can increase your bookings, as there are many students looking for this kind of help. Test prep English isn't for everyone, so here are some of the cons. First of all, some students are only taking the exam because their families or other outside forces are making them. This means they might not be as motivated as other students in your class, and they are less likely to put in the time required outside of class, like completing homework. This can reflect poorly on you and your statistics if they don't pass the exam. Also, test prep courses can be stressful for students because they need a specific score in order to pass. Students that aren't quite at the right level when they enter your course will need extra help to pass the exam. Finally, teaching test prep classes can be monotonous for teachers because you're teaching the same material again and again. You'll also need to offer feedback on students' writing assignments, which can be time-consuming. Test prep teachers should hold at least a 120-hour TEFL certificate that is accredited for teaching abroad and online. In addition to this, there isn't one specific type of certification to be a test prep teacher. Instead, there are a few different courses and certificates to help you learn how to become an effective test prep teacher, which you can add to your resume on completion. If you are brand new to teaching test prep English, I highly recommend enrolling in the International International TEFL Academy Test Prep Skills Specialty course. This 2-week online mini course goes over the basics of test prep English, introduces you to different official English exams, helps you understand how to teach the different skills and strategies, and provides you with helpful resources. I recently tested out this course, so let's take a look inside and see what it's like. The first chapter is an introduction to standardized testing, and you'll see how these different tests compare, which are the most popular, for example, and the different kinds. You'll also learn about the different language levels and how these exams compare in terms of their score. And I always have students asking about the different scores. In the second chapter, you are going to learn how to help your students improve their scores on the reading and writing portions of these different exams using lots of examples so you have an idea. And I really like this because you're actually getting information to help them improve, which isn't always taught in the normal TEFL courses. Here's one of the interactive activities that you can practice with and some more information about strategies, some tips and tricks to actually help your students improve. There's a peer participation forum as part of each week. This one was to take part of a sample test and then reflect on it a little bit. And you also have a written task for each week as well. So this is the first written task. The third chapter was about improving student scores in listening and speaking, so finishing up with your scores. Again, you have lots of different examples from the different exams, so you get an idea. And finally, you have a chapter that goes over additional things like test anxiety. This is definitely not included in normal TEFL courses. It really goes into depth of how to help your students because this is a huge part of test prep English. You also get information on how to use practice tests in your course and some resources for links to free tests. If this test prep skills specialty course is right for you, then fill out the form linked in my video description to get started. Lesson planning for test prep classes is similar to planning for general English with the addition of sessions on test strategy and extra test practice. In general, you'll be assigning much more homework than general English classes, and test prep classes are seen as more formal, demanding, and intense than general English. If you are following a test prep textbook, practice activities are usually similar to exam questions. You'll still be teaching various grammar points and skills like you would in general English, but there will be a focus on helping students get used to the format of the exam questions. For example, for writing tasks, you'll want to help your students work towards completing their writing in the given time and format of the exam. They will need to watch their word count and include a variety of grammar structures and vocabulary at the correct level of the exam. For my test prep courses, we used an exam-specific textbook, an official book of mock exams, grammar books for extra practice, as well as PowerPoint presentations I had created along with other teachers, review apps like Kahoot, and extra materials like TED Talks. For homework, I recommend seeing where each individual student's weaknesses are and sending them home with extra practice. I suggest using grammar books like English Grammar in Use by Raymond Murphy. I also encourage my students to read as much as possible in English while preparing for the exam. You can also send home full practice exams with your students each week that they can use to practice with. I hope this video helps you understand a bit more about the wonderful world of test prep English. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment down below. If you'd like to learn how to teach abroad step-by-step, you can join my monthly membership, Teach Abroad Club. And if you're new to teaching online, then check out my online teaching mini course. I'll have all the details in the video description. You can find me on Instagram at ESLTeacher365. And if you'd like to learn more about the International TEFL Academy Level 5 TEFL course, then you can watch my review next. Happy teaching!